Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.
Hello, and welcome to Vernon Vibes. This edition of Vernon Vibes is one that I'm really looking forward to because I want to start this evening by doing a great big shout out for Mrs. Mitchell's 6th grade social studies class at the Lonsbury Hollow Middle School. I want you young people to know that I thoroughly enjoyed being with you. It's a tremendous experience to be in the classroom with you. Your minds are sharp, and the questions you asked were great, and I always look forward to the opportunity. And so I just want to say thank you. I know all of you are going to be watching because when we were together, you made it quite clear that you were interested in what the mayor had to say. And so, again, a big shout out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for the invitation, and I look forward to doing it again. There are some things on our schedule that I want to talk to you about this evening, and the first one that I want to speak to you about actually is a fundraiser that is being held by the Vernon Township Historical Society. The Historical Society is a self-funded group of people who are dedicated to the creation of historical educational programs as well as the preservation of our history. And on November 3rd, from 6 until 10 p.m. at St. Francis de Sales Church, the Historical Society will be holding their dinner and auction. This dinner includes all you can eat at carve stations and buffets. It will include salad, appetizers, roast beef, chicken, pasta entrees, beverage and dessert, BYO if you care to. There'll be tons of door prizes, dozens of auction items, and if you're interested in a really great time and a meal that's cooked by someone near and dear to all our hearts, being Council President Brian Lynch and his fellow firemen from the Highland Lakes Fire Company, you will in fact enjoy a tremendous evening, wonderful food, and if you're interested, you can get tickets by calling 973-764-6545. Don't wait. The tickets are going fast. So support our local historical society, help them to continue the programs that they in fact provide to our youngsters in the school as well as to our citizens. Many of you have enjoyed the programs that have been put on at the Senior Citizen Center downstairs dealing with Vernon's history. And in order for those people to continue to be able to do the things they do, we need to support them. So I'm asking you to go on out, buy tickets. Even if you can't attend, you might want to make a donation. The Historical Society is an important part of life here in Vernon Township. Additionally, I want to make you aware that on Saturday, November 10th, that's 2 weeks, from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, the Vernon Township Animal Control Department will be providing again its free rabies clinic. That clinic will be held rain or shine at the Department of Public Works building at the end of Church Street. The clinic is for dogs and cats. Rabies shots are required for licensing your pet in Vernon Township. So take advantage of this service provided to you by Vernon Township and through the good auspices of Dr. Potter from the Vernon Veterinarian Clinic. He will be administering the shots to our animals for free. Animal Control asks, please have your dogs leashed and cats and carriers for the safety of the animals. If you have any questions, you can contact the Animal Control Department at 973-764-7751. That's Saturday, November 10th, from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. free rabies clinic, compliments of Vernon Township. When we come back, we'll have some issues to talk about.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. As always, it's good to be with you and to share what's going on in Vernon Township, and specifically those things that your municipal government is dealing with. As you well know, we're coming to a very, very important time, and of course I'm referring to Election Day. But before we get there, there is another date that I'd like to talk to you about, and that date is Halloween. You know, Halloween is a time for us to enjoy our neighbors, for the youngsters to enjoy an evening and collecting of goodies, candies, and the like. And it's probably the one holiday that takes place in the dark. And so I'd just like to take a moment to remind all of our parents that we want Halloween to be a good experience for our youngsters. We want it to be safe, and we would like to remind you that there are some precautions that you might want to be taking in this day and age. And one, of course, is to be sure that you are chaperoning your children as they travel through the neighborhoods. Secondly, use judgment in the selection of the costumes for your youngsters. It's dark. Wearing dark costumes can very well be a dangerous situation if, in fact, the ghoul that your child chooses to be needs dark clothing, dark costume. Then we suggest that there be some kind of reflective tape on it so that automobiles and the like can see your youngsters as they move around in the neighborhoods. And most importantly, when the evening is over and your children sit down and dump their bag on the table, be sure to go through all of the goodies and be sure that they're safe. I believe that in most cases, there isn't a problem, but unfortunately in this world we live in, we can't take that choice. So let's be sure that Halloween is a time that our children enjoy, and let's do it by being good parents and being aware and staying close and being sure that we have good safety practices as we enjoy that evening. The other date that I want to mention to you is November the 3rd, and just a little quickie, and that is that on November 3rd, it is time to set our clocks back. And so just a reminder from your mayor that in the fall, clocks fall back. We turn them back an hour on the evening of November 3rd, and I would just remind you all to do that. Then, of course, the most important date, November 6th. We've all seen the ads, we've all seen the debates, we've all listened to the platforms and the ideas. There are some very important decisions that we are going to make as we choose a president for the next 4 years. We choose a senator for New Jersey, a congressman for the 5th District. We choose 2 new freeholders, the very first time since the creation of the Freeholder Board that there will be 2 new freeholders elected to the board. And then, of course, we have local questions to deal with. And certainly there has been much said about those. As we move on in the program a little later, I will be addressing that with some closing thoughts about the salary question that each of you are being asked to decide on Election Day, November the 6th. So with that, when we get back, we'll be talking about some other issues that affect you. We'll be back in a second.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.
Welcome back. At last evening's town council meeting, there were several important pieces of business that were conducted and approved by the town council unanimously. And so I'd like to share some of that with you. First and foremost, every year, the municipalities in the state of New Jersey, Vernon included, are required to, in fact, engage in a survey that is put forward by the Department of Community Affairs, and it's called Best Practices Survey. This survey is designed to raise the awareness of practices concerning the finances of a community, the management practices of a community, the contractual agreements of the community. And it's not just a survey that you get to take and, like so many on the phone where, if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. The fact of the matter is that we must respond to every single question. And in fact, the answers to those questions affect the amount or the percentage of state aid that the municipality receives from the state of New Jersey. And I'm proud to tell you that for 2012, just as in 2011, Vernon Township has in fact met the criteria to in fact receive 100% of state aid from the state of New Jersey. And that's a feather in the cap of the people who work in this building. The managers, the department heads, and the people who are responsible for implementing state standards and for seeing to it that we meet all of the criteria that we must in order to be able to qualify is no easy task. And so once again, I want to doff my hat and give kudos to the people responsible for achieving an outstanding result for Vernon Township. And as a result, we will be receiving 100% of our state aid this year, which will of course translates into tax relief for you, the Vernon residents and taxpayers. In addition, a resolution last evening was adopted by the council to make application to the New Jersey DOT, in fact, a grant requesting a $3,000 DOT grant for the repair of Breakneck Road in calendar year and fiscal year 2013. It is our intent to, in fact, should we be successful, it is our intent to repave, repair, and to, in fact, improve the safety barriers from the intersection with 515 up the mountain to the point of the Tahama Road in Phase 1. And so, with the unanimous consent of the council, we have submitted the application, and I will be keeping you apprised as to how well we fared with that as we move into the 2013 construction year. I'm sure you can see that there is indeed a commitment on the part of this mayor and the part of your council to, in fact, improve our infrastructure, measurably improve our infrastructure. And through many of the programs and many of the nights that we've shared together, you've had the opportunity to hear about and see those projects as they have come to fruition. In the last Vernon Vibes, I made you aware that we would be shortly beginning the improvement, reconstruction, and repair to the storm sewer drainage system in the northern end of Vernon Valley Lake. That project has begun. We anticipate that it will be completed on time, and we will, in fact, correct what has been a very devastating problem for many of the homeowners in that area of our community. And so, with the grant applications and the budget process ahead of us, it is my belief that we will move forward in a stepwise fashion, doing the things that are necessary to keep our infrastructure in shape. I mentioned the best practices survey that we're required to answer. One of the questions is, does the township have a plan to see to it that all assets of the community are kept in good shape and are repaired and are usable and not left in disrepair? I would not be being candid if I told you that that was the case in Vernon prior to the advent of this new form of government. Frankly, our road and storm sewer infrastructure was left to deteriorate. Our buildings were left to deteriorate. And in the year and a half that we have had our new form of government, you can see all around you the improvements that we are making. You don't turn around a decade-old problem in 1 year. But I can tell you that the progress that we have made is something I'm very proud of, and I do appreciate the communications from all of you about the improvements that they see to our community. Your awareness and your willingness to speak out and to keep the council and myself apprised of your pleasure with what we're doing is truly appreciated, because I know in many cases the councilman often will wonder, and I sometimes wonder, do people really know what it is that we're doing? And if they do they really appreciate it? You've all made that quite clear recently. My heartfelt thanks, and on behalf of the council, I send a thanks. We are not going to quit. We are going to continue to move forward with projects that enhance our community, that in fact build on our commercial and business base, and continue to make Vernon what it once was, the true crown jewel of New Jersey, the one community within a 50-mile radius of New York City that offers amenities, wonderful living, excellent education, and a great opportunity to live, raise your family, and make a decent living. I believe the future in Vernon is bright, and these kinds of projects lend themselves to it. So I'm very pleased to tell you about that grant application, but I'm even more pleased to tell you about the next issue. There were 3 work change orders that were an outgrowth of Phase 2 paving of Canisteo Road. And in fact, those 3 work change orders resulted in a reduction of cost. Usually work change orders work to increase the cost. Through the work of our engineering firm, Corey Stoner of the Harold Pello Associates, and the 3 contractors who in fact were hired, that being Tilcon Incorporated, ML Ruberton, and Denville Line Painting, we have experienced a almost $9,000 saving in the total cost of the project as it was bid. And so, again, kudos to those people. Thank you for a job well done. All of Vernon benefits it. I've had lots of feedback on Canisteo Road, and it's all been positive. And so as we pull that project to a close, we will do it with a savings for you. And again, it will contribute to passing on a tax decrease for you in 2013. In addition, the council authorized myself to enter into a lease contract with for telecommunications equipment with the Avaya company. We will be, over the next several months, replacing the antiquated phone system that we have had to live with in Town Hall, and hopefully you will see the direct benefit of that with less dropped calls and better accessibility to the people you want to talk to in Town Hall. That is a lease. It is a monthly payment, and over 5 years it will be paid out, and at the end of the lease we will own all of the equipment for $1 after going through significant business models and proposals for purchase and or lease. We've come to the conclusion that this is the least expensive and the best alternative, and we will be purchasing that equipment off of the state contract, which gets us a great price. So the amount of business that was carried on at last night's meeting was excellent, and in fact all designed to improve your services, improve our performance here in Town Hall, and save you money. In a moment we'll be back to talk about some other issues.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Welcome back. Much has been said and written about the issue of the salary ordinance in Vernon Township. And in past issues of Vernon Vibes, I have in fact addressed many of the ideas and many of the accomplishments and many of the reasons for creating that ordinance to start with. We all know that there has been a tremendous amount of misinformation that has been spread by a very small group of people who have an agenda of their own. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not disturbed by that. That's the American way. But what is disturbing is the misinformation that has been spread. Example, I have read letter after letter to the editor and listened to one public comment after another made that this administration has borrowed $8 million and that's how we're running your township. Nothing could be further from the truth. Did the township borrow $8 million? Yes, we did. Let's, for the record, be very clear. $4 million was borrowed to purchase the United Water sewer system. That $4 million bond is in fact being paid by the Vernon MUA and the users of the sewer system. Does the township have to indemnify should the MUA fail? Absolutely. But that is the case with every single utility authority in the state of New Jersey. It's required by law. So that's $4 million. $2.8 million was borrowed for the purpose of seeing to it that the municipal utility authority, the Vernon Municipal Utility Authority, would have the money necessary to pay its bills timely, to meet the commitments that were made by previous governments to the Sussex County MUA, and at the same time not have to choke the users of our sewer system. And the third loan was $1 million to repair the damages done by Irene. The $2.8 million bond is also the responsibility of the MUA, and the $1 million bond that was borrowed to repair our infrastructure is being reimbursed by FEMA to Vernon Township. Not one penny of borrowing has been done to operate this community. And saying so in letters to the editor, I believe, is done deliberately to mislead you. Secondly, the hiring of people. The fact of the matter is that this administration has studied very, very closely and is very aware of the salary ordinances, and the people that were hired from funds that were made available from people who retired and left. The overall salary pool has not gone up. There is a 2% line item in the township's budget for 2012 to cover all of the salary increases that are contemplated for the department heads. To lead you to believe that the cost of those raises was somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000, I believe, is just absolutely intentionally misleading you. I can tell you that there are several laws that govern raises. For example, 4 of the people whose salary range are a part of that question will get raises whether you vote for it or not. It's state statute. I don't have any choice. I'm required to pay the town clerk, the tax assessor, the tax collector, and the CFO at least the amount of money in raise that the bargaining units got in the 2012 calendar year. That's state law. Secondly, you need to know that the money that was expended for the new dump trucks at the DPW and for the fire trucks that are being provided to Highland Lakes and to Vernon were bond issues that were in fact floated by the previous administration. Did I support them? Absolutely I did. And I'm not trying to make it seem as though that was a bad move. But here's what was a bad move. When the previous administration gathered up old bonds and did permanent bonding, $13.5 million in fact, they didn't provide in the 2011 budget the first year's payment. And so when you hear, well, the expenditures of the township went up, what they neglect to tell you is it was caused by having to make a double payment in 2011 because in 2010 the township didn't make any payment. That $1.4 million payment will go back down to $700,000 in 2013. I assure you, there are no tricks. There is nothing in the township budget that someone who really understands municipal financing couldn't understand. And the rhetoric that you've been treated to has been, I believe, a function of a political agenda which doesn't serve this community well. You'll decide that on November the 6th.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
Attention athletic directors, high school coaches, youth recreation directors. Too busy on the field to worry about your insurance? Put D&H Alternative Risk Solutions into the game and let us give you peace of mind for all your insurance needs. D&H will provide you with A-rated insurance for your leagues, teams, sports clinics, summer camps, and rec programs. D&H will give you a one-page quote, saving you time. Let D&H provide you with a no-obligation quote today. D&H Alternative Risk Solutions, local insurance for your local athletic program needs. Call 940-1851 or visit risksolutions.com.
In closing, unfortunately, I have some bad news. I always like to talk about the positive things, but this is something that in fact bothers me greatly. During Irene, this township made application on behalf of our 10 homeowners associations, our lake communities, for reimbursement to the damages that were caused by Irene. We didn't do that arbitrarily. We, in fact, asked the representatives from FEMA a year ago whether or not those damages would qualify in the same way that our own roads and the like qualified. We were told yes. And so we asked our lake communities to do their bookkeeping, to bring forward their records, and Vernon Township made application to FEMA for reimbursement on behalf of our lake communities and homeowners associations. In fact, earlier, two of the communities that we made application for, we received small checks for them, which we passed through and paid to the community. This morning, by way of email, fully 10 months after FEMA made a decision, fully 10 months ago when they made the decision, they have informed me that the lake communities do not qualify for reimbursement, and they in fact took back the money that was forwarded already. I'm not pleased by this. I don't think you should be either. I recommend to every single one of you that live in a lake community that you ought to contact Congressman Scott Garrett and have him speak on your behalf. This is an absolute abomination. To be told that it qualifies and a year later be told it's rejected is just not acceptable. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to continue to fight on your behalf. But this is a battle that we must join together. And so, again, I ask each of you as you listen to this program to consider writing Scott Garrett, writing Senator Menendez, writing Senator Lautenberg, and letting them know just how dissatisfied you are with FEMA. I think after this experience, we all can understand why the people in New Orleans complained. It's an abomination. With that, I wish you the very best. Have a happy Halloween, and above all else, go out and vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.